without wasting any time, I'm just going to jump straight into it, because the Chelsea discussion is genuinely a fascinating one, and we've seen a lot of it on social media already. I think the Chelsea fans themselves are in a state of disbelief at what they're seeing. But the latest acquisition, and we'll talk about their transfer strategy in general a bit later, but the latest acquisition, Yao Felix. Your initial reactions when you saw that this player was about to be signed by Chelsea, Lee?
Well, they were short of players, so they obviously needed an extra one. I have no idea what's going on at Chelsea. 43 players, I think. This may be making 44, I think. Yeah. Where they get changed, where's he going to play everybody? It's a nightmare. I mean, you've got a manager that's just come into his first time in the Premier League, managing a huge club with big expectations, and he's got all this to deal with. I think it's a distraction that he doesn't really need.
Does it even make sense, Gary? I mean, we spent the last few months of last season talking about how Chelsea, what they're desperately missing is a genuine goal scorer up front. And then we expected them to solve that problem this summer. They haven't exactly done that up to now. But what they've done is they've brought in another guy who doesn't really have a defined position or a role on the pitch.
No, I think the question is, where does Yao Felix like to play? What is his best position? You know, he's been on loan at Chelsea in the past. Didn't have a great goal-scoring record while he was there. Is he a 9? No, I don't think so. I think he likes to play on the left-hand side a little bit more up front. But the sheer number of players, you know, Mauricio Pochettino last season really struggled because of the numbers of players that Chelsea had and that he had to deal with. And those numbers have just got greater and greater as Chelsea have signed more and more players. And it appears to me, without any great thought or process, there must be, surely. You know, these owners of Chelsea Football Club, they aren't stupid people. They're extremely wealthy people. And maybe that's it. Maybe they've got too much money and not quite enough sense. I don't know.
Obviously, when we talk about Chelsea, there is a football structure in place, or so they say, and that football structure is mainly responsible for spearheading the recruitment process. And I'm just curious, from Enzo Maresca's point of view, I mean, surely he understands what it takes to construct a team, the balance that's needed all over the park. Do you genuinely think that he gave the okay to the Yao Felix signing, or was it something that perhaps...
In my opinion, no. I don't think he's had any great say whatsoever in players coming in to Chelsea Football Club. I think those decisions are made above him. You know, he is the head coach, and the club are saying, here's the raw material. Now, take that raw material and make us a successful team, make us, or take us back to the place where we used to be when Roman Abramovich was the owner.
I was watching Maresca's press conference last week, Lee, and when he was asked about the situation, you know, isn't it a bit of a mess that you've got 40-plus players? And he was very quick to say that, hang on a minute, I'm only working with about 20, 21 players. The other 20, 21 are training by themselves or are awaiting transfers out of the club. But the body language, the way he was answering that question, I think a lot of Chelsea fans themselves feel that, I think, is Maresca himself in a bit of a difficult position?
I think he's in an impossible position. I think when you've got that many players, you've got the likes of Lukaku, you've got experienced players that know what they're doing. They're looking for a goal scorer. They've got one sat there in the squad that's trained on their own. I think it's awkward for him. I think it's awkward to come into a team as a brand new manager and stamp your authority and stamp your philosophy on the club when you've got a team full of players, experienced players that are, I don't know whether they're getting changed at the same time or in the same place, but you've got a load of people that are really unhappy that will be disrupting the players that are going to try and dig out results for you this season. I think it's an impossible situation.
It's such a tricky task for Enzo Maresca,